Welcome back, everybody. Mark here, and today I'm going to talk about basically just touring around, showing you like points of interest, traveling, overland travel. So if you're a beginner, I know traveling can get a little confusing, but they do a great job at giving you waypoints and how to track everything. So here I'm in Protector's Enclave, and basically it's the main area. And you'll see on the map, you'll see all these points, like, so this is, a gate, the Dragon Gate where you can travel. This is the Delkin Street Gate, and you can see I even have a quest marker or adventure marker, whatever you want to call it, objective marker, that says, hey, you can travel here, so I can travel there, I can travel over here as well, to all these other areas. So within the Protector's Enclave, though, you really want to talk to Sergeant Knox. He's going to have whatever next adventure you're able to do. As you can see, I have to get a lot higher gear score to start doing some of the stuff, like Whispers in the Dark. I can't do that yet because I'm below 55,000 gear score or item level. Once I get above 50,000, which, I'm a little ways away, as you've seen in other videos, I'm at 53, I'm like 2,000 points away. One or two rings and I'll be above that, and I'll be able to pick up that quest to start that next adventure. So Sergeant Knox is good at getting you on to the next part of what you want to do. Also, if you haven't done this and you're new and you're learning, go to the Adventurers Guild Hall. It's right down the street. So Sergeant Knox is up the stairs here. Come down, and right behind here, this is the platform where any special event that's going on, usually you turn in here. You can come right over here and you can go into the Adventurers Guild Hall. So inside the Adventurers Guild, you can really learn how to use your abilities by talking to Instructor Corbin and doing the stuff on the board. They actually have training available through this little orb here. That's the training room. So if you need to learn how to use your abilities, you can go right in there. You can also talk to all the traders in here. So if you have enough points, here we go. You can see I was talking earlier about currencies and about, moats, and can you buy moats and everything? Yes, you can buy all of that stuff right for the Adventurers Halt. So uncommon amethyst, you can see the benefits: offense, defense, utility slot. So if I look at my character screen, leaving here, you can see in the enhancements, offense, defense, utility. So these are all the slots. So that's where you can even buy those to start with, just by talking to Padre inside the Adventurers Hall. Also, we have a Seals Trader.
Have you acquired any seals?
You can do general wares or equipment for your class, depending on what your class is or what your item level is. Like, I'm already past all this, unfortunately, but if you need a bump and you're saving up your adventure tokens, you can basically deck yourself out pretty well. You can also speak to the general merchant. From general merchant, you can buy potions, all the kits for out there in the world, nature kits, thievery kits for picking up the bags and the gear and loot, portable altars if you want to be able to do your invoke anywhere in the world versus always having to go back and find an altar. And then unfortunately, if you die, you might be injured, so you need to use an injury kit. So they have those here as well. Stuff that gold is usable for, all those potions. So tool around in here, see what you can do. You can do PvP. You can talk to the PvP merchant. See, I have a bunch of PvP stuff, so if you're like, would rather do some PvP stuff, you have all kinds of stuff you can buy in here and upgrade and make yourself pretty strong for PvP. It's all in depending on what you want to do. So you can see you have that. You have your Astral Diamond outfitter supplier store, so you can see you can get different items. Once again, I think they're more PvP related. You want to burn your Astral Diamonds on that. I'm kind of a saver. And then you even have a mount merchant.
Need a horse?
So he'll say horses, so depending on where you're at, 5 gold, you can get your first horse. You can go tooling around. And then you have your bankers, your guild banker. You can see, very limited unless you bought a bunch more slots, which I have not. You have some shared stuff, and then you also have the guild banker, which depending on what you have, you might have a lot of storage, a lot of items, tons of these lock boxes from through the years past. I've been playing this game since it was out in beta, so I've acquired a lot of items since 2013. So guild hall, don't underestimate the usage. Talk to everyone in here. Works really great. All right, so let's go on a little bit of adventure. All right, so pop back out. And there's other places around town too. So when you're looking at your map, you know, you see this location, just find that key over here. 58 is what? The Sage's Workshop. So you can click on that if you want to go to the Sage's Workshop. There you go. You can head there, you know. So it says double click. So you can go to all these different locations. And so the biggest thing, let's go find a door. It'll travel to an area. So here's the gate. Travel. So you see I have a quest here. Target Noroya Perels in the fiery pit. I probably butchered the crap out of that. That's okay though, that happens. So another thing here, like Sword Coast, that's where we're at. But say you're doing the Icewind Dale stuff. This is where you would go to do all the dailies. You can see I picked up a bunch of stuff already. You travel to Bryn Shander, pick up all these quests. If I hit cancel and look here, I've talked about the adventures and the campaigns. So if you're looking at Storm King's Thunder and Icewind Dale, which I've completed both, this is where, that's the zone you would go to. And here's the store. I can buy a bunch of stuff from the store. I can, you know, all the different items and equipment, astral diamonds. You know, I could buy a bunch of astral diamonds right now for what I have. So there's just a way to keep stacking things. I could even create this signet, which allows you to basically, you know, what is this? Needed for task and repeat the collected rewards. So I've created that once before. So there's a lot of different things you can create like that help you with different tasks and items. So once you have the signet, you can turn the signet in, and that can reduce the cost of all those tasks by 50%. I think it's really designed so if you complete it on one character, you create it, you can give that to another character because I think it's account bound, and that way it's only half the resources versus all the resources. So it makes it easier on a secondary character. But basically, if I'm doing any of these legacy campaigns, Icewind Dale, and I want to travel there, let's go to Icewind Dale and start in Bryn Shander and travel to Bryn Shander, and I'm good to go. So there's a bunch of dailies here I can still pick up. You can travel by talking to the carriage here. This will let you travel somewhere else. So you just got to kind of look at these travel locations when you're traveling around the world. So if you look at the map, usually the map will always show you a way out of the area that you're in. So it might be, you see all the other quest points you have in the world, that's where you want to go to. Go to Bryn Shander Epicenter. Oh, that's that one where you run through and gotta kill the Yetis. But basically you can go, this giant objective pile is saying you have other objectives out there in the world. Here's a travel point to get to those objectives. So that can help you get around. There's a lot of neat little areas, the Underdark. I haven't done a lot here yet, 50,000. So I'm starting to unlock stuff there. Cholt, I haven't unlocked a ton in Cholt. Avernus, I've been kind of cleaning up. Thay is where I've really been spending most of my time because this is where I can go ahead and get those end game currency currently and really get a big jump on my gear. There are other videos that kind of walk you through how you can upgrade all of your gear using the currencies. But basically, the best way to do it, like, let's go to Thay for a second. This place is kind of neat. If you know anything about the Red Wizard history, they're very brutal, very evil, very chaotic. But basically what you're able to do is you turn on the daily quest here, and they actually have a vendor. So there's a seals vendor. They have a vendor out here. Like here's the one you would start with, where if you have enough of the Thay and Hex coins, like I was saying earlier, and the Thay and Death Lockets, you can upgrade your gear. And as you can see, I already have most of this stuff. So this is how you kind of get a big jump. What I'm working on now, and I could probably buy them both now, is the pants and the shirt. So that's an extra 1,000 for the pants and an extra 1,000 for the shirt. I would just have to figure out which ones I want, because it's going to be 50 of the hex coins and 100 death lockets, and I got 115 and 380, and it's going to cost me Astro Diamonds. So that would be a big jump. But I said in an earlier video that I'm saving up for the rings, because the rings are going to be a huge jump for me. I'm going from an item level 1300 to an item level of 3450 for both rings. So that's what I'm saving up for. So when it resets on Monday, I believe it does, Monday or Tuesday, whenever the reset happens, maybe Tuesday. When the reset happens, then I'll be able to get 100 more and be able to unlock both rings and do it in one shot. Why do I want to do it in one shot? I guess it's just my OCD. I don't know. You can also buy enhancements here, which you can put enhancements in your enhancement slots. Like I said, I have most of the armor. I need the pants and shirts. So I'm going to get a big boost out of here by the time I'm done. Now, the next thing is, once you get that boost and your item level is high enough, you have this other merchant that has the big gear. And he has advanced and he has master. And you can see this is a lot more expensive. So the hex coins, 125, and then you need like 500 of these halo coins, which these are attained in the shackles of divinity master trial. So you basically have to be doing the master trial to be able to get this. In this one here, you have to be able to, once again, advanced and master trial. So you're like, okay, what are those? So if you go to look here and you look at your queues, you have your advanced trial, which I can't even touch yet. Item level has to be 45,000. Which mine is, so I gotta look at, maybe I haven't unlocked the requirements yet. Yeah, I need the task what's lost. But as you can see, each one of these is a lot harder. Shackles of Divinity Advanced. You look at this thing, it's like item level needs to be 90,000. So it's kind of crazy. And then the master trials are even like crazier. I guess I can do Tower of the Mad Master Mage here. But I don't know what it'll give me. Let me see. Lost Scrolls of the Void. So another currency. But those are the things you can see. So depending on what you're doing, you can actually get a lot more gear. Doing more advanced dungeons, more advanced items. This is probably where being in a guild helps, because if they're doing guild runs, at least you got people that know what's going on. You can go through and figure out what's up. Very, 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 very nice looking gear. Kind of drool over the window a little bit. So over here, once again, my invoke is up. So invoke. Once again, I'm at 4 of 6. So as you go through those invokes, like I was saying, you get those coins, those celestial coins unlock more gear. So that's kind of adventuring around. So this is just kind of looking around, all kinds of different adventures. This place is kind of wild. Like I said, I love my Tenzer's floating disc. It's my favorite mount. And then here we can go up here and travel again. Take it a different way around. So don't be afraid to adventure around again. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to die, need an injury kit. That does happen, but, you know, and a lot of times they don't really let you go to places you can really go to. So if we go back to Wild Space, I haven't really done anything yet, different systems. Under Mountain, I've done everything. I'm up to the Uprising. Underdark, like I said, I'm just starting to unlock, so that should help me get more more gear because of the item level. Then you can see like the dread ring I'm doing kind of every day. Finish that up. And then I have fiery pit, which I'm working on as well. So there's a lot of different things. You can see the different item levels here. You can jump around, doing the weeklies. Well of Dragons is a pretty cool area. Then you have your guild stronghold. So that's kind of like the little adventure around town. Rector's Enclave, like I said, is usually a home base for everyone. That's where everything's going down.
Race of the gods.
And you can do all your different guild hall stuff and talking to Sergeant Knox. Hope you guys found this useful. Once again, you know, that's how you travel. A lot of different dailies around. There's always something to do. Here's another daily you can do, which that one's kind of fun. You get the seed of the earth and get the tree. Make everyone happy. But don't be afraid to tool around. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.